Have you ever wondered why two students can sit in the same class, listen to the same lessons, and take the same exams, yet one effortlessly rises to the top while the other drowns in stress and exhaustion? It's a frustrating mystery, right? We often blame it on talent, IQ, or just sheer luck. But what if I told you the real difference isn't any of those things? What if it's a set of ancient learning secrets, refined over centuries in China and Japan, designed to unlock peak mental performance? These aren't just dusty techniques from old books. They are powerful, practical methods still used today in elite Eastern schools that produce some of the world's brightest minds. In fact, some of these techniques are considered so effective that a few top schools in China have reportedly banned them for giving students an unfair advantage. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to reveal 7 timeless Eastern secrets for learning faster, deeper, and with less stress. Techniques you were probably never taught in school. We'll cover everything from meditative focus and visual memorization to rewriting for mastery and adopting the powerful empty cup mindset. Once you apply these principles, you'll see a dramatic transformation, not just in your grades, but in your confidence and the sheer speed at which you learn. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to understand the Eastern way of learning. Are you ready to unlock these 7 secrets and become the top student you were always meant to be? Let's start with a technique you might think you already know: the Pomodoro. Study for 25 minutes, rest for 5. Simple, right? But for Japanese students, this isn't just about setting a timer. It's a profound ritual of focus. Before they even think about opening a book or hitting start, they do something different. They close their eyes, take a few deep, centering breaths, and set a clear, study intention. This isn't a vague goal like study math. It's a precise, powerful statement of what they will master in the next 25 minutes. For instance, I will master every trigonometric formula, or I will memorize the complete structure of the digestive system. When your brain hears a specific, actionable command like that, it's like giving it a GPS destination. It automatically begins to filter out distractions, sharpen your focus, and commit all its resources to that one single goal. Suddenly, studying is no longer a mechanical task you have to slog through. It becomes a mindful, deliberate act. This is the secret behind how Japanese students can maintain intense focus for hours without succumbing to burnout. They aren't racing against the clock. They are turning each study session into a ceremony of attention and discipline. So the next time you're about to start a study session, don't just jump in. Pause for a moment. Write down your intention. Say it aloud. Feel the commitment. Transform your Pomodoro into a meditative ritual. You'll find you're not just learning more, but learning deeper, calmer, and far more effectively. Now for our second secret, which taps into one of the brain's most powerful tools: visual memory. The human brain is wired to remember images far better than abstract words, and Chinese students have mastered this principle from a very young age. Think about it. They practice writing thousands of intricate Han characters. Each character isn't just a symbol, it's a story, a picture, a concept, all rolled into one. Every single stroke engages both their visual and motor memory, embedding knowledge deep within their minds. One classic method they use is called grid recall. They write the same character over and over again within small squares, training the hand and brain to memorize every detail until it becomes second nature. But it goes beyond simple repetition. They learn to visualize the meaning behind the characters. The character for tree, mu, looks like a tree with branches. The character for person, ren, resembles a human figure walking. This fusion of image and language creates unbreakable memory links. And you can apply this exact same principle to any subject you're studying. You don't just have to learn facts, you can draw your knowledge. When studying biology, don't just read about the mitochondria. Visualize it as the bustling power plant of the cell. When studying history, turn a complex battle into a simple comic strip with heroes and villains. For math, convert abstract formulas into clear, logical diagrams. You don't need to be an artist. Your brain doesn't care about perfect lines, it cares about pictures. A little bit of creativity is all it takes to make your learning faster, longer lasting, and honestly, a lot more fun. Let's move on to the third secret, a game-changing habit from Japan's top students. While most of us reread our notes hoping something will stick, they do something far more active. They rewrite their notes 5 times, each time in a completely new way. This is known as the 5x writing rule, a master-level method for training both memory and critical thinking. Instead of passively scanning a page, they turn learning into an immersive mental and physical experience. Here's how it works. The first time, they simply write down the core definition or concept. The second time, they rephrase that same concept entirely in their own words. For the third rewrite, they transform the information into a visual, like a mind map, a chart, or a simple diagram. The fourth time, they connect it to the real world by creating a story or a practical example. And finally, for the fifth rewrite, they explain it as if they were teaching it to a friend who knows nothing about the topic. Each rewrite forces the brain to process the information from a different angle: semantic, visual, emotional, and expressive. This process builds powerful and diverse neural connections around the concept, making it almost impossible to forget. While the average student might reread a chapter 10 times and still feel unsure, a Japanese student using this method remembers it deeply after just 5 active rewrites. So if you're struggling with a difficult topic, try this tonight. Pick just one concept. Rewrite it 5 different ways. Define it, rephrase it, draw it, apply it, and teach it. You'll quickly discover that true understanding doesn't come from consuming information, but from creating it in your own unique way. The fourth secret is less of a technique and more of a profound mindset, drawn from Zen philosophy. There's a famous saying, "You cannot pour tea into a cup that is already full." Japanese culture has transformed this wisdom into a powerful learning principle known as the empty cup mindset, or shoshin. Top students in Japan don't study to prove how smart they are. They study to discover what they don't yet know. Before every learning session, they consciously empty their minds of pride, pressure, and the paralyzing fear of failure. This state of humility and openness allows them to learn with a sense of calm, curiosity, and depth. In stark contrast, many of us in the West often tie our self-worth directly to our grades. We're terrified of making mistakes, getting a low score, or being judged by our peers. This turns learning, which should be about growth, into a stressful competition. This perfectionism breeds procrastination, anxiety, and burnout, all stemming from the deep-seated fear of not being good enough. The Japanese approach teaches us that when you let go of your ego, wisdom naturally flows in. Learning transforms from a chore into an adventure of exploration. Mistakes are no longer signs of failure, but are seen as valuable stepping stones toward mastery. So, before you open your book next time, take a moment to ask yourself, is my cup empty today? If it's full of fear, pride, or the need for external validation, consciously pour some of it out. Because only an empty mind can truly be filled with knowledge. Our fifth secret reveals a powerful system used in China's top schools called chain learning. The core belief is that no piece of knowledge exists in isolation. Everything is interconnected. Therefore, learning should be interconnected too. Here's an example of how it works. When a student is learning about acceleration in a physics class, they don't just stop there. They use their math skills to calculate the rate of change. Then, they link that concept to chemistry by exploring how it relates to the speed of chemical reactions. Finally, they might connect it to biology to understand how nerve signals are transmitted through the body, another form of acceleration. By doing this, they transform isolated, easy-to-forget facts into a rich, interconnected web of understanding. This method does more than just help with memorization. It cultivates a deep grasp of the underlying principles that govern the world. When ideas are chained together, your memory holds on to them much more effectively, because each subject reinforces the others. This is how Chinese students develop such flexible reasoning and multidimensional thinking, moving far beyond simple rote memorization. You can start applying chain learning today. View every subject not as a separate box, but as a link in a larger chain. How does history connect to politics? How does math apply to economics? How does biology influence psychology? Once you start seeing knowledge as one vast, interconnected network, learning becomes an exciting exploration, not a tedious repetition. You'll not only understand concepts more deeply, but also begin to see the beautiful, intricate patterns of how the world works. The sixth secret has been a cornerstone of Eastern learning since the age of the samurai. The philosophy is simple yet profound. To truly understand something, you must be able to teach it to someone else. Samurai didn't just practice swordsmanship until they were perfect. They taught it to others, believing that true mastery is only achieved when you can explain a concept with absolute clarity. Today, that same spirit is alive and well in modern Japanese and Chinese classrooms. Top students are often encouraged to mentor their peers who might be struggling. This isn't about showing off. It's a strategic method to strengthen their own understanding. The act of explaining a complex idea forces your brain to simplify it, organize it logically, and express it clearly. This process is the very essence of true learning. This is also known in the West as the Feynman technique, named after the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman. He famously said, "If you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough." So here's a challenge for you. Pick the one topic you find most difficult right now. After you've studied it, try to explain it out loud in just 10 seconds, as if you were talking to a 10-year-old. You will instantly see which parts you truly understand and which parts are still fuzzy. Make teaching a part of your learning process. It is the fastest path to making knowledge truly your own, and the same path the East has used to pursue mastery for centuries. And now, we arrive at our seventh and final secret, a principle that ties everything together: the concept of study as a disciplined, daily ritual. In the East, particularly in Japan, great emphasis is placed on the idea of kaizen, or continuous incremental improvement. This isn't about massive, heroic study sessions crammed in before an exam. It's about building a consistent daily practice that becomes as natural as breathing. Top students don't wait for motivation to strike. They cultivate discipline. Their study time is a non-negotiable part of their day, a sacred ritual dedicated to self-improvement. They create a specific environment for it: a clean desk, no distractions, everything in its place. This physical order helps create mental order. By showing up every single day, even for a short period, they build momentum. Learning becomes a habit, not a chore. This ritualistic approach takes the emotional struggle out of studying. You no longer have to debate with yourself whether you feel like studying today. The decision is already made. The ritual carries you forward. This consistency is what builds deep, lasting knowledge and an unbreakable sense of discipline that benefits them in all areas of life. So, instead of relying on willpower, build a system. Define your study ritual. When and where will you study each day? What small steps will you take to begin? Turn your study routine into a calm, focused, and respected part of your daily life. It's this disciplined consistency, this daily commitment to small improvements, that ultimately separates the good students from the great ones. So there you have it, 7 timeless secrets from the East that can revolutionize the way you learn. From the meditative Pomodoro and the 5X writing rule to the empty cup mindset and the power of chain learning, these aren't just study hacks. They are a holistic philosophy for achieving mastery with focus, discipline, and a sense of calm. Start by picking just one of these secrets and applying it this week. See how it feels. Notice the difference it makes. Remember, the path to becoming a top student isn't about being born a genius. It's about adopting smarter, more effective ways of learning. You have the potential. Now you have the tools. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope these insights help you on your learning journey. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment below and let us know which secret you're going to try first. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.